wonderful friends, it's Evelyn here as usual, and a huge welcome back to the channel. And as always, a big thank you to each and every single one of you for your love and support. Now my friends, if you haven't done so, please hit that all important subscribe button. But let's get into what we're going to be doing here on the Evelyn Adore channel for the next few weeks. Yes, the next few weeks are going to be all about busting that fabric stash, my friends. So without further ado, let's go and have a look at my very messy fabric stash and get to some summer creations to fill some gaps in my me-made wardrobe. Even though, yes, you've probably seen, no doubt by the fact that there really isn't that much sun around me today, summer better arrive in the Scottish Highlands soon, my friends. Wishful thinking. Come on, let's go. Okay friends, so here it is, the craziness that is my fabric stash. So as you can see, it's not as tidy as it was a couple of months ago, but you win some, you lose some. So having a look in here, the first thing that I'm noticing is my obsession with scuba. Oh, can you hear that? There are little paws coming. Hello, Luna. Hello, Luna. Hello. The first thing that I'm seeing is a lot of scuba, which is one of my fabric obsessions. So there's some there in a gorgeous cherry print. There's some hiding down there in a polka dot, some gingham print, and also some plain colours like this navy here and a few different shades of blue and a pink and a teal there. So I think I definitely have to make something with all of this stashed scuba, and that is something that is coming to mind straight away, and that is swimwear. So after my surgery last year, I made my very first swimsuit, which was the Esther swimsuit. I'll pop a link to that video above because I did document the whole process and I absolutely loved that swimsuit. And after that surgery, it does feel a little bit more scary getting into swimwear. So I think I'm going to create some scuba swimwear for myself and maybe adapt and modify a few patterns to make them more accessible and comfy for me. And the fabric that I'm really liking the look of for that is this navy scuba here. I really like that. I love the fact as well that it's right next to this striped cotton for a real sort of French Riviera feel. But yes, navy scuba it is, my friends. Hey, Loon. Hey, monkey. You okay? Yeah? Fabric chosen, it was time to hit the patterns, and this time I gravitated towards two. The Gina Bustier from Gertie's World on Patreon for the top, and swimsuit pattern Butterick B6067, which I plan to modify into ruched bikini bottoms. So grabbing my chosen navy scuba, it was time to get tracing my pattern pieces, and one thing I'm excited about with this Butterick pattern is how it has separate cup sizes, which is quite rare for the big four. But on this occasion though, I just need the pieces associated with the bottom of the swimsuit, tracing them just up to the waistline. Turning my attention to the top, I wanted to carry on the ruching style from the bottoms onto my bustier. To do that, I began by turning the two side pieces into one, joining them at the side seam to create one single piece. Looking back at the side pieces of the bottoms, I measured each piece to see how much longer the ruched piece was to determine how much I should slash and spread my Gina Bustier piece to mimic the same style. I worked out that the ruched piece was approximately 75% longer, and so I used this measurement to increase the Gina piece. dividing the piece into sections before separating them, allowing me to slash and spread the pattern like so. As you can see by this very messy pattern piece, my friends, this took me a bit of working out, but I got there. Then it was time to cut out a lot of pieces of fabric, cutting the chosen patterns from my navy scuba, but also using a nude swimsuit lining to cut the bustier lining and a separate lining for the bikini bottoms. I also used bra foam for the cup pieces. Many pieces. Working on the lining first, the instructions for both patterns were precise and easy to follow and made sewing these garments a quick and enjoyable process. I even got to try out one of the specialised stretch stitches on my latest digital sewing machine. On to the outer scuba layer, and in fact this project was coming together so quickly that I forgot to take my usual huge amount of photos. Oops! The gathering on the bikini overskirt pieces is really beautiful, and I quickly had this. My swimsuit bottoms, which I was really liking the look of. Time to add elastic to the leg holes and also at the waistline too, since I was creating a bikini bottom rather than the full swimsuit. Be sure to use specialised swimsuit elastic when sewing swimwear, my friends, because regular elastic will not stand up to prolonged exposure to chlorine, sea salt or sunshine, and we want these makes to last. Bottoms finished and looking great, it was time to return to the top. Creating the straps and the outer scuba layer in exactly the same way as the inner lining layer, this time gathering the side pieces to replicate the ruched effect from the bottoms, which I was really happy with. Lining and outer layers are then pinned and sewn together all along the upper edge, sandwiching the straps in between the layers to attach them as I went. Because I'm using a stretch fabric for this version and no zip in the centre back of the top as the original version calls for, I also used some of that swimwear elastic around the lower edge of the bustier to secure it in place. To finish my top, I edge stitched all along the upper edge too, to mirror the stitching along the bottom. And even if I do say so myself, I was rather proud of this top stitching. Now, after trying on this new me-made ensemble, I was so happy with the results. But as someone who has quite a long torso and a bit of a booty, I could have benefited from a bit of extra length in the bikini bottoms. Despite this, I still love the first set, which you can see a bit later on in the reveal, my friends. In fact, I loved making this set so much, I returned to the fabric stash to give it another go. Adding an extra few inches to the top and bottom of the bikini bottom pieces like so. Using two really pretty scuba fabrics and a different pattern for the top this time, Simplicity 1426. And I'm particularly impressed with my colour matching on the cotton with this one. But without further ado, it's reveal time. Well, friends, I am absolutely ecstatic with how this week's sewing has turned out. It is not often that I enjoy a project so much that I immediately have to make another one as soon as I've finished the first version, but I'm so glad I did, because these two sets of creations not only turned out really well, but I feel really confident wearing them, which is a massive step for me after last year's surgery. In fact, with all that scuba in my fabric stash, friends, I will definitely be making more versions of these fabulous vintage style swimsuits. But until next week, when I'll be getting up to even more fabric stash busting, friends, you take care. Bye.